Hey, and thanks for watching Meg's Made It. On today's video, I'm going to show you how to make melting snowman bath melts. This is actually the product that got me interested in making bath products in the first place. I absolutely love them and I use them probably more than any other product. They're really simple to make, so let me show you how. First thing you'll need to get started is your baking soda and citric acid, melted butters and almond oil. Then you're also going to want chocolate chips and candied ginger pieces for the nose. Your fragrance oil, I'm using Sleigh Ride. All of the measurements are in the description box below, and it also gives an idea of some other fragrances that you can use. You're going to want to put down a piece of wax paper just to keep your surface clean and to actually mold the snowman on, and a large mixing bowl and sieve. First thing I like to do is to start by melting my butters. I do this on 30-second bursts in the microwave. You can also do it in a double boiler, but I find this is a lot quicker. It takes about 2 minutes. I also like to take it out when there's still a few pieces in it, like this, because it helps it to cool down a lot faster. While you're melting your butters, you can also be chopping your ginger. I'm using candied ginger pieces that I got at the bulk food store, but you can pretty much pick these up at any grocery store. I like to cut them into small wedges. You want the back of them to be a little bit wider so that you can actually get them to stick inside the snowman's face. And you want to have a nice tip on the end so that you have a really nice pointed carrot for your snowman nose. Once you have those all cut up, just set them aside and we're going to get started with the mixture. I have my sieve here and I'm going to put through my baking soda. I like to run my hand through this just to get out any large clumps because it'll save you a lot of time in the long run. Trust me on that one. I've done it a couple times when I didn't have a sieve and it took forever. So you just want to make sure you get all those lumps through. You're still going to have a little bit, but we can get those out with our hands afterwards. And now I have my citric acid that I'm going to run through again. This particle can be a little bit more airborne. It is a little irritating. Is that irritable? Anyway, and irritating. So if you want to wear a mask, just pop that on before you use it. I don't actually generally use a mask unless I'm working with SLSA, which we don't have in this one. Now your baking soda and your citric acid are going to form the reaction that actually start to fizz and break apart your bath melt, the snowman, in the bath water. So you don't have to have it super hot to get it to actually melt like some bath melts. So that's really cool, and you'll see at the end it has a really neat fizzing action, so it's kind of fun when you throw it in your bath water and kids absolutely love it. So as you can see, what I'm doing here is I'm just working the mixture, getting out any lumps and clumps. Any clumps in your mixture are gonna form like just almost warts in your product in the final thing, and it's really, really ugly and not really nice, so you wanna work all that out. I've added my oils in. I only added half to get started with because I find sometimes it just gets a little messy. So I put in about half, start to mix, and then I'll add the other half. But you can add the whole thing in at once if you want to. So here I'm adding in the other half, and I'm just going to keep working this mixture until I get the consistency of basically a sugar cookie or a wet sugar cookie dough. It will be really great for molding, and you'll be able to get the snowman shape without it kind of spreading all over the place. Now, I didn't get to show, but I actually had added my sweet almond oil and my essential oil and fragrance oil to the butter mixture once it had cooled down just before I added it. Something happened with the filming and I didn't actually get to film that part, but that is what I did. So now you can see here I'm just checking to make sure that it molds and it's holding together really well, so I know the mixture is ready to go. If you find yours is dry, you can add a little bit more almond oil to it if you need it. Now we're ready to start molding. I take about just a little over an ounce of the dough and I form it into a ball and then press it out into a disc shape on the wax paper. Then what I like to do is go around and just press in the edges to make it look kind of like the snowman is melting and pooling and just generally forming outwards. So I just like to do that with my hand and keep pressing it down, as you can see. Once you get the shape that you like, you want to take about half of that size mixture and roll it into a ball. I took a little bit too much and he would have been a very big fathead, so I took a little bit of that dough away. You want to roll that into a nice tight ball If it doesn't hold together now, it's not going to hold together later, so you just want to make sure that you get it really tightly together. The heat from your hand will also help to melt the butters a little bit more and get them to form together. Then on the back side, and you can choose which side you think should be the back side for your snowman, you just press the head down. You can keep molding and shaping it. Now with the chocolate chips, I like to put the point side down on the base of the snowman for the buttons because I like the flat look for this. And then I'll take 2 more chocolate chips and actually put them point side out for the eyes on his head. So you just want to push those in slightly. Your head might kind of misshape it at this point, but as I said, it's really easy to form, so just keep working it until you get the shape that you want. And remember, these are handmade. They are made by you, not a machine, so imperfections are okay, and they're what make it really unique. So take a wedge of your ginger and just push that in for his little nose, reshape the face, and you're good to go. Now you should actually mold these where they're going to finally rest and dry. I wasn't smart enough to do that, so I actually had to move mine. But if you can help not moving it, try not to move it because it works a lot better if you actually make it where it's going to dry. As you get towards the end molding your last one, as I'm doing here, your mixture might get a little bit crumbly, which is basically because the butters are starting to harden. So all you want to do is pop that into the microwave for about 15 to 30 seconds. It'll soften the butters right up again and you can continue to work. When you're finished molding your snowmen, you want to let them set for about 30 to 45 minutes. They'll be firm to the touch after that, and then you can actually release them from the paper. Just pull up on the bottoms gently. You can see in these ones here, I'm starting to pull on their heads a little bit. It wasn't such a good thing to do. In a second, you'll see that one of their heads actually pops off. So just be careful and use the actual bases. Now the reason why I think that one's head popped off was because it was thicker, but no worries, don't panic. Just pop it in the microwave for about 15 seconds, the base and the head. It softens the butter, and then you can just push the little head back on again. You want to store these in a Ziploc baggie or an airtight container until you're ready to either use them or package them. If you are packaging them as a gift, still try to keep them pretty airtight because you don't want the citric acid to react early. And now the final result. You can see how your bath fizzy, your little melted snowman, will actually work in the bath water. As you can see, the baking soda and citric acid really do help to start to break up the mixture and to release the oils into the water. The chocolate chips also melt down quite easily, so they just blend right into the water and you won't even notice them anymore. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. And as always, the link to the blog post with the exact ingredients and measurements is in the description box below. Please leave a comment and let me know what other products you'd like to see made.